Namaskar, everybody. Welcome once again. And today I'm going to do a very short video on decoding the Ekashloki Ramayan. For those of you, I would also be talking about the importance and the glories of this short Ramayan, which is of 9 or 10 verses. And the importance also is relevant with Jyotish Shastra with respect to Marana Karaka Sthana. Now, for those of you who want to just know about this Shloka, which is the condensed or the summarized form of Ramayan. So I will recite this and I will also tell you the meaning of this shortened form of Ramayan. Many scholars also attribute this to Sant Tulsidas, but I haven't seen any scriptures which mention about this Ekashloki Ramayan referred to Sant Tulsidas. But let us assume that this was whoever has crafted this. This is a very beautiful invocation. It is, as per many scholars, they also believe that reciting the Ekashloki Ramayan is like reading the entire Ramayana, which is given by sage Valmiki Rishi. So let us recite this, and let me also then decode this for you to go deeper into understanding how this shloka can be associated with the positions of the planets, which are very weak positions, especially when you come into astrology. Given in the classics that there are certain bhavas or there are certain positions or dispositions of the grahas where they feel very, very weak, or they feel incapable of giving the karakattvas, their significations, with any power. So these positions are called as Marana Karaka Sthanas. Marana Karaka means where a planet feels as though he is feeling weak and incapable of giving any results that he is supposed to be giving. So that is why it's called as though he feels he's dying. So that is the position of the planets. So what are the positions of the planets? I will first talk about those planets and their positions in the chart with respect to the Udaya Lagna, which means the rising sign, which is the ascendant in your chart. With respect to your Udaya Lagna, Sun is said to be in Marana Karaka Sthana in the 12th bhava, the 12th house. Then we have Moon, which is said to be in Marana Karaka Sthana, which is the 8th bhava or the 8th house from the Lagna. Venus is said to be in Marana Karaka when it comes to the 6th bhava. And Mercury is said to be in Marana Karaka when it comes to the 4th and the 7th bhava. Jupiter is said to be in Marana Karaka when it goes to the 3rd house or the 3rd bhava. Mars is said to be absolutely losing its benevolence in giving its results when it comes to the 7th bhava. And Saturn, which is the Karaka for diseases and delays, and also the highest forms of karmas, can go into Marana Karaka when it comes to the 1st bhava, which is the Lagna itself. Then there are very few people who talk about the Marana Karaka Sthanas because it's not given for the nodes in the classical books. But I have seen some some scholars also discuss about where Rahu and Ketu feel very weak. That is, Rahu's position in the 9th bhava is said to be very weak because Rahu cannot give you religious faith and belief in any systems which is Dharma Shastras. And Ketu feels in Marana Karaka when it comes into the Sukha Bhava, which is the house which is the 4th Bhava or the 4th house. Now let's listen to what is Ekashloki Ramayan and let me decode this for you. So the shloka goes, ādau rāma tapōvanādigamanaṁ hatvā mrigan kāñcanaṁ vaidēhī haraṇaṁ jaṭāyu maraṇaṁ sugrīva sambhāṣaṇam vālī nigrahaṇaṁ samudrataraṇaṁ laṅkāpurīdāhanaṁ paścādrāvaṇakumbhakarṇahananaṁ hyētaddhi rāmāyaṇam. So this is the entire Ramayana, which is condensed into a form to understand this. So this, many people say, just by reciting these 9 verses, you are reciting the entire Ramayana. So let us go and see what these shlokas stand for. So let me share my screen now. So this is the verse. I said, ādau rāma tapōvanādigamanaṁ. Once the king, the crown prince who was coronated, went to the forest. Hatvā mrigan kāñcanaṁ. He chased and killed the golden deer. Hatvā means to kill. Mrigham means it is the deer. And kāñcanaṁ, the golden deer. Vaidēhī haraṇaṁ. Jaṭāyu maraṇaṁ. Here you can see vaidēhī haraṇaṁ means Sita Mata. Vaidēhī is also called as Sita, Mata Sita. She was abducted or kidnapped. And jaṭāyu maraṇaṁ, which means the king vulture, the king of the vultures, who tried to stop the abduction of Sita, and Jaṭāyu being killed by Ravana, the titanic king of Lanka, on his journey when he was abducting Mata Sita and taking it on the Pushpaka Vimana, which is his aircraft, his spacecraft that he used to take. So he was abducting her, and Jaṭāyu, the king of the vultures, tried to stop their path. Sugrīva sambhāṣaṇam. There were talks with Sugrīva. Sugrīva was in exile. He was in a mountain called Rishya mountains. He was sitting there, Rishya mountains, and he was being protected from his elder brother, who is a vālī or bāli, also what they call him. So, and this is the sambhāṣaṇam, which means this is the meeting that happened between Ram, Lakshman, and Sugrīva and his exiled clan, which was there in the forest. Vālī nigrahaṇaṁ. Vālī was killed by Rama by an ambush. Samudrataraṇaṁ. The sea was crossed. Laṅkāpurīdāhanaṁ. This can also be said that this was the sea which was crossed by Lord Hanuman, and he also burnt Lanka to ashes. And also what happened after the war, the entire the city of Lanka went into gloom after slaying of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. paścādrāvaṇakumbhakarṇahananaṁ hyētaddhi rāmāyaṇam. And later Ravana and Kumbhakarna were also killed, and this is the entire Ekashloki Ramayan. Now let's go and see how do we connect this to the Marana Karaka Sthanas of the Grahas, which we're trying to decode here. So let's look at the first verse, which says ādau rāma tapōvanādigamanaṁ. That means a crown prince who was coronated to be the king, he had to go to the forest. So Surya, which is the king Rama here, which shows the king going into the 12th bhava. 12th bhava is when you have to leave your palace and you have to retreat to on an exile. So whenever you see sun in your 12th house in Marana Karaka Sthana, please pray to Lord Rama, or even recite this Ekashloki Ramayan will help you in overcoming the blemish that Surya brings. Sun stands for vitality, sun stands for leadership, and sun also stands for authority. So if at any point in your life you feel your vitality, your authority, your leadership skills are flagging, then this is the best way trying to uplift that. is to do Surya Aradhana, praying to the sun god and also to Lord Sri Ram, because he belongs to the solar dynasty, which is he is a Surya Vamshi. Hatvā mrigan kāñcanaṁ. Now, mrigha, which means deers. If you see in the depiction of Jyotish Shastra, you see Chandra or Soma, the moon god, the deified moon, is usually seen drawn by a chariot of 10 deers. Now, it's also the deers, or we call them antelopes, but the real word, which is a fast-running deer family, is called as a gazelle. Gazelles are the real depictions of the vahanas, the vehicles, the mount of Surya Devata. Now, here you say it's golden deer. So what is the golden deer? The mind plays a lot of Maya on you. That is an illusion which is created. The mind creates these illusions, these daydreaming things, and also the influence of the mind, which is the Maya, which is the illusion. So there is nothing called as a golden deer, but when you see something which is very fascinated by, where something is glittering, you always have to question. So when you lose focus and you go with your fascinations of the illusions which life creates for you, that means the Chandra is feeling as though he's dead, because the mind has the ability to give you clarity of your thoughts. But when you lose focus and when you just put your focus on what is not real, what is illusionary, that's when the moon feels very, very weak. So if you see naturally also, the moon gets debilitated in the 8th Rashi, which is Scorpio of the natural zodiac, being Aries being the first house and Scorpio being the 8th house. You see that? So moon goes into the 8th bhava. It feels very weak. It is not able to distinguish and make a clear-cut distinction. So this is the killing of the golden deer, which is Maricha, who has disguised himself. Remember, that's also an illusion. So Maricha was an asura who was sent by Ravana to go and play this whole illusion prank in front of Mata Sita. So Chandra in the 8th bhava will make you feel that way. So this is the only way to tell you that there is nothing called as a golden deer. It is our aspirations, it's our desires, it's our dreams that is not sometimes achievable. We try to go for it because we think we can be able to do it. So this is the influence of Chandra, moon in the 8th bhava. Vaidēhī haraṇaṁ. Vaidēhī, Shukra. The natural place where Shukra goes into its Multrikona is in Libra, which is Tula Rashi, and it goes into its debility when it goes to the 12th from it, which is the natural 6th house of Kanya, which is Virgo. So the natural 6th bhava, wherever Venus goes into, Venus feels very much weakened. It feels that it is not able to give its influence. So Shukra here, Vaidēhī, which is Mata Sita, is her abduction is shown by Shukra sitting in the 6th bhava, which is the 12th, which is abduction from the 7th Rashi of Tula. Jaṭāyu maraṇaṁ. Jaṭāyu maraṇaṁ. See, Jaṭāyu here played the role of being one of the most prominent in protecting the chastity of a woman. When she was being abducted, or we have to stand up for righteousness. So he really, without bothering for his own life, he went up in the air. He was very old, but he still fought very valiantly in front of Ravana till Ravana cut off both his wings, chopped it off. And he laid there as a messenger, waiting for Ram and Lakshman to come and to give them the message that he has seen Sita being abducted and she was going towards the southern direction. So this is where you see Buddha. Buddha is Mercury. Okay, Mercury playing the role, Jaṭāyu playing the role of not only a messenger. You can also know that Mercury is connected to one earthy sign, which is Virgo, and another Aries sign, which is Gemini, Mithuna Rashi. Mithuna Rashi is an Aries sign. So It shows you his ability to fly and to protect, okay, and also becoming the messenger. The third house, Gemini, is also communication and messenger. And his position where he feels weakened is the fourth bhava and the seventh bhava, Budh, okay. Sugrīva sambhāṣaṇam. Sugrīva here is in exile, and Sugrīva behaves like a Brahaspati or Guru in this whole interpretation, because Sugrīva becomes not only a friend of Sri Ram, but he also becomes his minister in charge of the entire army. So he takes over the reins and he has come forward to help him. So sambhāṣaṇam, which means this is the interaction that happened on the mountains of Rishishringa, where you see that the discussions that have happened, which led to the killing of Vālī, the elder brother of Sugrīva. Sugrīva is said to be the son of Surya Devata, and here there is a sambhāṣaṇam, which is the third house effect. So Brahaspati and Guru, which is Jupiter, feels in Marana Karaka when it comes to the third house, because when Jupiter is unable to lift the weapons or show courage, that means you are in some position where you're not able to show your true self because you are under certain rules and regulations. So being a teacher, you cannot lift the weapons and show courage on the battlefield. That is a guru for you, Brahaspati. Vālī nirdanaham. So Vālī or Vālī. Vālī was called the most powerful being of the Treta Yuga. He had the powers that anybody who comes in front of him, he gets half of his powers. This was the boon of Brahma. Vālī was said to be the son of Vriksharaja, which means a great tree. And his wife was Tara, and his younger brother was Sugrīva. So they had this duel, because of which Vālī felt that he was being cheated, and his younger brother wanted to take his throne. So he had exiled him, and he had ordered that if he comes from his exile, he would kill him. So here you can see this is Mangala, which is Mars, which is the most powerful form of Vālī. He gets slayed, and this happens because Mangala gets debilitated. Mangala gets into Marana Karaka Sthana when it goes into the seventh bhava of a chart. Samudrataraṇaṁ laṅkāpurīdāhanaṁ. Samudrataraṇaṁ. Now, when Shani comes into the first bhava of your chart, that means it is like an ocean that you have to cross over, because Shani is the Karaka for your karmas. And when it comes to your first house, which means that becomes your priority. Shani becomes in Marana Karaka when it comes to the first bhava, is because Shani is a Karaka for diseases, delay, ailments, and we need to practice a lot of devotion, loyalty, structure, organization. All of this are the good side of Shani. But if you're not following that, this samudrataraṇaṁ, which means in a way it is for all of us to cross this ocean of our prarabdha karmas. It is so we need to find a path. So the path is, the stones which were where rāmāyaṇam was written, those stones started floating in the ocean. So that means only rāmāyaṇam has the only way to create a path for you amongst this whole sanchita karma, the whole world of information which is there. You have to cross through that, and that is your prarabdha. To make a path between the land to another land where we do not know what is there. Okay, so that is the abduction of vaidēhī has happened, and they are looking to cross that ocean. So Shani in the first bhava is said to be in Marana Karaka Sthana. Laṅkāpurīdāhanaṁ. That means Laṅkāpuri. Laṅkāpuri was said to be Sone ka Lanka, which means it was built in gold. The gold was taken from Vritteshvara, which is called as Kubera, who is the half brother of the Titan king of Lanka, who is Ravana. Now, Laṅkāpuri was said to be very affluent, And it was also said to have, all the arts, whether, even Ravana was a great scholar. He was, a Shastra, all the Shastras he had mastered. He had also was a great bhakt of Lord Shiva. He wanted to take the Atmalinga of Shiva and establish in Lanka, which he was incapable of doing it. Otherwise this would be a very sacred land. So Lankapuri was, even in terms of astronomy, all kinds of sciences and technology, including astrology, everything you see, it was a very flourishing city and the capital of Ravana. But what happens when, Rahu gets into your mind? Rahu is the ego. Because if you see, Rahu is the one in the Hindu mythological text, it's said that it is going to engulf the sun itself. The sun represents our ego, our ahankara, okay, and our pride and our arrogance. So Rahu said, when Rahu enters into the ninth bhava, that means everything is going as per the plans. Ninth bhava is also Sagittarius sign. The natural zodiac, the ninth house or the ninth Rashi is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign for religion, faith, belief systems, and your teacher, your guru, and following all the Dharma Shastras. But also ninth house or a Sagittarius sign is associated with Yuddha Bhava, which is war. Sagittarius is war. Sagittarius is the highest form of knowledge you can have. Now, when Rahu goes into the ninth bhava, it gives you your pride, and your ego is going to suppress the righteousness that was built in your kingdom. The greatness is falling down, and this can bring your downfall. So Rahu in the ninth house, you want to say, I am the king, I am the ruler, bow down to me, I am your God. Do not believe in any other gods but me. This is Rahu's arrogance. And when that happens, when there is your Sanatana, Sanatana means what is perpetual, what is eternal, nobody can kill it. When Sanatana and its dharmas are being questioned, then there is a downfall. So Rahu in the ninth bhava is said to be Marana Karaka Sthana, because it gives you self-pride and ego, which you are not able to keep up. paścādrāvaṇakumbhakarṇahananaṁ hyētaddhi rāmāyaṇam. After this, Ketu, which represents the whole curse of Ravana's avatar and Kumbhakarna's avatar. If you know through the Vishnu Puran, you will know that Ravana and Kumbhakarna are nobody but they are the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha Loka, which is the abode of Narayana, Vishnu. So they were cursed by the Sanat Kumaras, the four young boys who are the mind-born sons of Lord Brahma. They cursed them that you should be born on earth to be able to repent for not respecting us and allowing us and laughing at us, mocking at us. So that was the curse because of which they had to take birth and to be slayed. Ketu is called as the planet which gives you moksha. Now, it feels weak when it comes into the Sukha Bhava because Ketu wants to feel elevated in the spiritual activities. It wants to be an ascetic. It wants to be saintly. It wants to be reciting mantras. But when you give it too much of pleasure, it feels very, very undue that it's able to follow the moksha path. So this Ketu's position in the fourth house will make you feel as though that you've got all your, your materialistic things. You forget about the main goals of your dharma and your karma, and you get involved in the rajasic qualities of your life. So here, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, they get moksha because they are slayed by Rama himself and Lakshmana. So that's why you see this whole equation of Ekashloki Ramayan very beautifully narrates to you the entire astrological significance of Marana Karaka Sthana. So this is in summary. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please understand that most of the stories, the folklores, the myths, the legends, they're all real-time information. And if you can decode them, I think there is a wealth of resources. So, I hope you have enjoyed this. Please leave your comments so that I can keep doing more such videos that will bring to light the significance of learning astrology. I repeat again, and I've been saying this many times over, astrology is not only a predictive science, it is a science to understand our karmas and also to rectify them. It's not about just understanding them, but working towards self-correction. So if you understand this greater secret, then you'll study every text that comes to you with greater reverence, because there is always some moral of the story which is there. So this is the moral of the Ekashloki Ramayan. So thank you for watching. Namaskar. Pranam.